Hello, everybody.
As the law stands, anybody can work as a bouncer. The most important qualifications seem to be muscle, bulk, and a willingness to maintain both by regular training at places like Gordon's Gym in South London.
Go. But to be a good bouncer, you've got to look the part. It'd be no good an 8-stone weakling standing there saying to a drunk...
Dodo, Donny Chiller's new Frank vids also. Let me see. Okay.
In Azerbaijan, going on for years. They came to my office, the two leaders, two great guys. One was there 22 years, one was there 7. And they both said during the entire term of their office, all they did was kill people on the other side. And now they're sitting in my office, and they're at the Oval Office. It's pretty wide. And they had one over here, one over there. And slowly, over the course of about an hour, they came close. And at the end of an hour, we were hugging each other and holding hands. It was an amazing thing, and we settled that war. That was not settleable, as the expression goes. Cambodia and Armenia.
And nobody cares.
You helped unite MAGA. And you know what MAHA is? That's right, Make America Healthy Again. And tomorrow we're going to have one of the biggest announcements, really medically, I think, in the history of our country. We're going to be doing it with Bobby and Oz and all of the professionals. I think you're going to find it to be amazing. I think we found an answer.
They're going to say it's seed oils, aren't they?
To autism. How about that? Autism. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking in the Oval Office in the White House about autism, how it happens, so we won't let it happen anymore.
Yeah, they're going to say it's seed oils.
You know it's artificially induced. It's not like something that when you go from all of those, healthy babies to a point where I don't even know structurally if a country can afford it, and that's the least of the problems. To have families destroyed over this is just so terrible. I also, and we've already done this, we want no mercury in the vaccine. We want no aluminum in the vaccine. The MMR, I think, should be taken separately. This is based on what I feel.
Oh, Trump feels a certain way. Okay.
Mumps, measles, and all the 3 should be taken separately. And it seems to
Why?
be that when you mix them, there could be a problem. So there's no downside in taking them separately. In fact, they think it's better, so let it be separate. The chicken pox is already separate, because when that got mixed in, I guess they made it 4 for a while, it really was bad. So they make chicken pox. Individually, they're okay. When you mix them, something maybe happens. So there's no downside in doing it. It's not like, oh, if you do it, bad things. No, it's only good side. And it may not have that much of an impact, but it may have a big impact. So let those be taken separately. And then...
All right.
Moment on his dying day, we find everything we need to know about who Charlie Kirk truly was. He was a missionary with a noble spirit and a great, great purpose. He did not hate his opponents. He wanted the best for them. That's where I disagreed with Charlie. I hate my opponent, and I don't want the best for them. I'm sorry. I am sorry, Erica. But now Erica can talk to me and the whole group, and maybe they can convince me that that's not right, but I can't stand my opponent.
Sounds about right. Does vegan gains is pro big pharma? Okay, well, we established that you can't make a proper sentence. Well, I don't know if you could say I'm pro big pharma, but they did invent the steroids I take, so they must be doing something right. Censorship donated Tiller. Should Sky News have apologized for this or not?
Just aired those comments earlier, but we're going to continue now. Ryan Williams, also known as online.
No. Thanks for the donation.
What's good, bro? I hit a 515 pounds squat PR in the gym today. Really feeling myself right now.
Dope. Some good strength, dude. That is indeed meat legal depth. Good job, man. That looked like it moved easy. Thanks for the donation, dude. Stitching No Fap donated $2. Don't know if you saw my chat, but breaking news: Sean Baker quit carnivore, made a vid. Didn't he just say he cheated on his diet? Who fucking cares? Thanks for the donation, Stitching No Fap. Doherty donated Trump is the worst president in history, and we all knew it, but apparently people like Dr. Avi couldn't see that. It's such a shame. Also react.
No, Jimmy Kimmel got fired. That was, And people are like, this is fascism, because people are getting fired for what they say. And it's like, motherfuckers were getting fired for not getting an injection 2 years ago.
Alright, thanks for the donation, Dodo.
KVG, are you upset that it's the last day of summer?
Not thrilled about it. We should just stick to gasoline engines so it stays summer. I think the government should give rebates on V12 Ferraris so that everybody keeps producing more carbon dioxide so I don't have to deal with winter. Thanks for the donation though, Dodo.
Saturday night, out you go, we've had enough of you, or whatever. Because they'd just walk straight over you. We are what you could say horizontal champions. We never made it as boxers or wrestlers, but nevertheless we are trained men. We all come from working class backgrounds, so therefore we don't earn a lot of money of a day. So to get a few extra quid, we go out and we do these jobs.
He basically admitted to being a retard for voting for this orange monkey. Yeah, abortion rights and terrorism were gonna decide fate of America. Yeah bro, America needs more carnists rednecks breeding. America might never recover from this autocracy.
Did he actually say he regrets voting for Trump? Thanks for the donation, Bonsai. Dodo Donatillers, open the new Frank vids. How does this have 600 million views? Ethiopia is rapidly developing. Well, that's good. Reptilian, huh?
That conversation was the only way to heal our country. And this was important, particularly important during a technological age when we are all hooked into social rhythms, social algorithms that are hacked into the reptilian cores of our brain and amplify our impulses for tribalism and for division. He felt that the only way to overcome that biological impulse was with a spiritual fire and with developing.
He can ban TikTok. What the fuck is he talking? Fuck RFK Jr. Fuck him. Oh my god. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
But global warming is harmful to the planet, Fiji.
I don't give two fucking shits. I don't want to fucking shovel snow in my driveway. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
GH timing. GH is very simple to use. You take it before bed. You take it before bed because it works best that way. A lot of people want to take it first thing in the morning. That sort of makes sense, but it doesn't make as much sense as before bed. So the first 4 units of the day should be taken before bed. So if you're using 1 unit, you take 1 unit before bed.
What's up, guys? We're down here at Frankie's Strange Meat. Gonna give you guys a look around, show you what's new, and just try to kind of keep all the negative stuff out of it, because honestly I can make a list of probably 100 things that have gone wrong this year, and it all stems back to, you know, not being in the club, these Freemason Illuminati gang stalkers just, you know, at every corner, every turn, taking advantage of me. More recently, you guys know we lost $20,000 worth of Wagyu. That company that sold me the faulty potato chip manufacturing equipment cost me $60,000. All this refrigeration nonsense in the warehouse, plus my eye surgery, basically any cent that I've ever earned on this business to be used to expand it instead was kind of wasted. So pretty discouraged.
But what about the poor polar bears, VG?
They're carnivores, so they can die. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Know what I'm going to do. I mean, hopefully.
Happy first day of fall.
Unfortunately. Thanks for the donation, Chris. Dodo Donatiller Silent Hill F releases in 2 days. Can you make sure you buy it, not wait a month to play it? I want to play it right away. Also.
Outside the UK's largest arms fair, a gauntlet of abuse. Protesters angered by Palestinian deaths in Israel's war in Gaza.
Yeah, well, despite them doing all this horse shit, they're just shipping more arms to Israel, so yeah, okay, whine and complain. Nobody cares. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Hopefully the court system has some legitimacy to it. If not, I guess we're going to be handing out flyers the rest of our life. Every single thing that's happened to me, I have filed a legitimate lawsuit against it, but doesn't mean the judge is going to play fair. That fridge over there is a little loud, hopefully not too loud, but over here in the packing room, we try to keep all the non-perishable stuff in stock for you guys. Some of the newer stuff is the raw beef jerky. It's a little smoky. We'll adjust the recipe next time, but that's basically raw, no seasonings, as well as the original flavored beef jerky, which has some coconut amino, some other stuff. all of the bars, you know, we're basically making one of them or two of them fresh every week, whether it's the best bars in chocolate, vanilla, and berry, our plain pemmican, as well as our berry pemmican. You know, we are the most affordable seller of both dried and fresh pemmican online. There's some of the blueberry honey pemmican, which is much more palatable. We have our collagen.
At least that worthless island will be underwater once the polar ice caps melt.
Yes, true. Thanks for the donation, Dodo. Are there ways to increase reaction times? Yeah, take steroids and practice.
Crisp bars in stock. We got maple pecan. These are a few of the Rice Krispie treats left over. These are dark chocolate hazelnut collagen crisp bars. I think these are just the regular chocolate chip granola bars. These are very popular. And then we just have some other best bars and stuff up there. Over here, we made a fresh batch of the Crackdamia. We did a smaller portion, 4 ounces. I think that's a much better serving size, you know, to eat at once. And these are really, really delicious. Definitely one of the favorite products that we've ever made. I was thinking of just doing like, I don't know, maybe trying to focus on one bar for a little bit and just make it like the healthiest and tastiest bar and just try to sell a lot of it. Although
Cupping therapy is one of the most dumb fuck.
C4 Performance Energy.
Alright, well thanks. I'll get a can tomorrow. Thanks for the donation, Chris. Cupping therapy is one of the dumbest fucking things ever. It doesn't do shit other than damage your skin and cause fucking infections. So it's just fucking stupid. Anybody who does it's an idiot.
Though that's kind of like what our chocolate chip granola bar is. Something special that I did was I made a fresh batch of like 30 loaves of sourdough, and we just ground it all up to make like the freshest, highest quality breadcrumbs. So, you know, these straight out of the oven. We sliced the bread, toasted it, and then ground it up into breadcrumbs. So there is no other breadcrumb as high quality as this, made with 100% organic sourdough. So really special. I was going to try to do some videos like breading some chicken and poultry and stuff like that. Over here, we mostly have all the different fats. Like we have the beef tallow in 8 ounces, beef tallow in 2 pounds. We also have large buckets of beef tallow available. This is vanilla honey, basically our vanilla extract that's available on the Foods website. And these are all the other fats. So like Iberico pork lard, lamb tallow, some more beef fat. We're the only vendor that has marrowbone oil. Very, very special product. And then we just have some salts and seasonings, whether it's our 2 different salts or our steak seasoning, as well as our New York City style steak seasoning. Let me see if I could show you guys those. This is the regular pure ocean sea salt. Here we have the
React to this, VG.
You are a bigot, and you are a racist, and you are an Islamophobe. And although you live here, I want you to know as mayor, you are not welcome here. And the day you move out of the city will be the day that I launch a parade celebrating the fact that you moved out of the city.
Yes, go ahead. State your name and address.
God bless you, Mayor. God bless you, sir. I think
Thank you.
also say that I'm an apostate, I'm going to hell based on the videos that you dropped. So if I were you, I'd sit silently.
Okay.
Wow. That is the mayor of Dearborn, Michigan, laying into someone who spoke at City Council. This exchange has made news. Let's back up so you can see what happened in its entirety.
2 intersections have been named after Mr. Omar Siblani. I'm sure he's done a lot of good things for the community, starting the Arab American News. But one thing I'm very concerned about, which I think a lot of people in Dearborn would be concerned about, I mean, I could just read his direct quotations.
Can you tell us what the issue is?
Yeah, Ms.
Before you
Councilman
start
Abraham.
reading things, can you just tell us what your concern is?
Yeah, my concern is he's a promoter of Hezbollah and Hamas. And,
Okay,
and then,
Mr. Barham?
Yeah.
And Mayor, correct me if I'm wrong. Thank you, Councilman Abraham. But your point, you're free to address your point, which I just wanted to make sure you're aware. The sign that was placed in that area is a county road, and it was done by the Wayne County Executive. It's not under control of the city, Dearborn or City Council. We can get you the list of their meeting, and you could go there and speak to the county commissioners, but we did not have the authority to overrule that or to suspend it there.
yes, that's fine, and I did understand that. But I know that there were people in this room who were
Dodo Donatellers, I guarantee you Frank burnt or ruined those sourdough loaves, or they fell on the floor or something, so he decided to bake them again and turn them into breadcrumbs. I doubt he made sourdough just for breadcrumbs unless he's really, really retarded, but I don't think. Yeah, probably. I'm sure that's what he did. Thanks for the donation, Dodo. RV donators, bro, come to ISKCON in Ottawa. It's a great hub of religion, culture, spirituality, and they serve great vegan, vegetarian food. Too much yogurt. And too much stupid gay religious bullshit. Thanks for the donation, RV.
There at the, at the ceremony for putting those signs up. And also it's in Dearborn, so I'm just speaking as a Dearbornite. Just a couple of quotes here. He talks about how the blood of the martyrs, I'm quoting, irrigates the land of Palestine. And then further quotes, he talks about how the terrorists should strike them with knives and with their bare hands, and they're victorious. And he also encourages the use of rockets over there. And then another quote from 2022, "We are the Arabs who are going to lift Palestinians all the way to victory, whether we are in Michigan and whether we are in Jenin." So the reason why I mentioned this is that it sounds like he could be inciting violence in Michigan. Believe me, I'm continuing the quotation. He says, believe me.
He's not. I just want to be clear. He can speak for himself.
Well, this is
I'm going to stop you because he's not a violent person.
Oh my god. Yeah, just don't let him in, whatever. I don't care. I'm sick of this horse shit.
New York City style steak seasoning, which is just kind of like a special combination of salt and freshly ground organic black pepper. And then we have some actual seasoning with like mushroom, onion, garlic, if you like that type of stuff. There's nothing really new on the food stuff. This is just stuff that I kind of have in my diet, like the udon noodles every day, the basmati rice. We're trying to keep the coconut water in stock because not a lot of people carry this. And it's the best tasting coconut water, Taste Nirvana. A few new things are just like the applesauce. Nothing else really new. We have those 10 new products we launched this year on naturals, and hopefully in a month or two we have the other stuff like the cleaning things. But I'm not sure when that's gonna get here with all the tariff issues. I guess this is also one of our newest products, launched a few weeks ago. It's an apple vanilla oatmeal. Actually way too high in protein. Let me know how you guys like this. I was actually thinking of just remixing the whole batch to have less protein, but figured I'll just sell it as is for now. By the way, this is like, it's very cheap per serving, but there's a lot. I think it's like $1 or $1.50 for your breakfast, but it's just a big bag.
No.
So we did both the naturals and the organ supplements giveaway in the city last week. I'll just do a quick overview here. So we have a bunch of different glandulars, like the brain one, the male virility. I'm at a full spectrum and some other stuff. I can't really afford to restock it because we're not doing so well financially. But we have the most affordable, like collagen peptides. Something that's also newer is the gelatin. Well, that's natural collagen. That's actually different than this collagen. And then we have, that's another thing of, is this natural collagen or did they label these wrong? No, it's over here. No, that's not over here. So there's some whey protein. There's our
Jerry-Ann Ryder.
Flextrose, which is our organic glucose product. This is the Sky High Organic Energy Drink. That's the Lemon Light. That's our very special electrolyte mix. I don't know where the gelatin is. That's another new one. The gelatin is like just a thickened product.
Nick Fuentes shouts out Svaria.
He's a fucking idiot. He reviewed my video and he's like, no, Nick is right. Working out is painful because we shouldn't do it. And
Yeah, exactly. Nice. I had no idea that he had seen my video. That's cool.
I was like, where has this guy been? No, dude. We need to put people onto this guy. He's not based. Who discourages working out. He's blue pill.
Yeah, what does he mean by blue pill? I wonder. We'll see. But I would like to do a video.
Well, that's great. The stream's gonna get a copyright claim.
How does Frank have the money to continue releasing huge batches of so many different products? Is he truly selling enough to make profits on all this stuff?
Well, he says he's broke all the time, but according to his tax documents, he made like $5.4 million in net revenue, so I have no idea. No clue. Thanks for the donation, Blackberry.
But we have everything, guys. All different minerals, multivitamin, multi-mineral. Over there is something that I think we also restocked on the naturals. This is the bone marrow cream. Yeah, I'm gonna have to ask my guys where they put that gelatin. Hopefully they didn't mislabel something, but this is also a new product. Our pool sanitizing powder. Launch didn't go too well, but you know, we have a patent on it, and maybe things will look better next year. There's just some more stuff. We don't really sell a lot of this anymore. This is a kefir mineral supplement instead of using like molasses. And this is our organic raw macadamia nut butter. So we got a lot of different stuff, a large variety of products, but the basic, consensus is that it's all like high quality, healthy, and organic, only using the best ingredients. So we're just gonna hop in the fridge here, see what's new. So we just have way too many eggs, so we're trying to get those out of here. Most of the baked goods now, we just bake them and freeze them immediately to keep them as fresh as possible, because we were also having a difficult time selling everything every week. But this is kind of just like our dairy stock, and we'll take like 5 or 6 of each of these and put them in the fridge out front, but we didn't do that yet this week. Here's all of our raw butter. I didn't even know we had 1 pound, but most of the butter is in 8-ounce portions, and then we also have salted butter. So the new thing, like usually people like unsalted butter, but so we kind of got rid of the salted butter, but a few people asked for it, so we do have salted butter back in stock. This is just all of our fresh raw dairy that came in this week. We have both half-gallon plastic options, and then in the Mountain Valley bottles for glass, we have different options. Beef tallow butter sticks, only company to, well, we gotta finalize the patent on these because someone else already tried copying us. We made a fresh batch of carne asada recently. No, that's what I meant to say. Fresh batch of chimichurri recently, just last week. This has been popular. You guys usually buy it out, so I do like keeping this in stock. I didn't sell too much steak sauce, so this is getting thrown out, but we're making a fresh batch tomorrow. Most of the new stuff is in the freezer. I think it's pretty cold in there now, so 3 degrees. See if we remember everything. This is our marrow butter. Basically what we make the marrow oil with. 5-pound organic ground beef is back in stock. Everything is available for the most part, guys. I know we just restocked the best burgers this week. We're changing up our portion sizes on certain things. Like we have 8-ounce portions available for a lot of stuff now, such as the flank steak. We made sure to get a much higher quality and keep the fat source consistent. So, like separating the suet fat from the trim fat. So, we have like 1 pound portions of suet fat available here. That's just the.
Who would buy a glob of fat?
Raw beef bacon. We got some chuck roasts over here. These are the half-pound 8-ounce ribeye steaks, and then we have 1-pound ribeye steaks, skirt steak in.
I really hope Frank is able to finalize that patent. We know how against people copying products he is.
Yeah, unless he's the one doing it. Thanks for the donation, E-Nation.
Nice 8-ounce portions. Not Japanese Wagyu, but we do have Wagyu picanha back in stock. One of the more affordable steaks and regular picanha steaks. And this is our fresh pemmican, aka liverwurst, that you guys pretty much buy out every week. So kind of hard time keeping that in stock. All of our Iberico pork is over here. Most popular product is the bacon, but you guys can see all that stuff under our Iberico pork section. I don't know if my guys put the wild boar over here too. I guess they did. We did recently stock wild boar cuts. It wasn't that popular, which is why we kind of got rid of it. But if you guys want to try it, we have some pretty small stuff too, like wild boar tenderloin. It's like a 2-ounce or 4-ounce portion, and then we have the wild boar ribeyes too. Nice small portion. You can try it out to make sure you like it. Beef liver fully restocked. I think we have most of the ground stuff in stock. This is new. We just did this today. This is ground brisket. Ground brisket. And then we have, that's our high fat grind. That's ground beef fat, but it looks like there's a little trim in there. This is our super 95.5 lean blend. There's our best burger blend that has some steak cuts in there. This is just the pure ground chuck down here. There's our organ grinds, plenty of the organ grind, and then we got beef pet food too. If there's one category this year that we really expanded on, it's been our poultry, because we're the only vendor online that has duck, goose, and chicken in such variety. Like whatever part of the duck you want, from the leg to the breast, whole duck, liver, heart, anything. We have every cut of all the poultry. I guess the goose is a little expensive. You guys haven't been really...
Everyone who orders from Frank should be euthanized.
buying it. Honestly, probably wouldn't have done it if I knew it wasn't going to be that popular.
Why do you promote Frank? Watch a whole video of him promoting his products and not criticize him. Yet you won't even acknowledge let. How does Frank still have such a large customer base, and still sells out on products, when he's literally insane, publicly states that he lays in bed for 16 hours a day, complains non-stop, and is constantly doxing the addresses of his customers?
Well, his customers are the biggest retards on the planet, so... You know, I guess he can get away with it. Thanks for the donation, Blackberry.
Here's the goose leg, and then here's all the corn and soy-free chicken. We got plenty of this. Some very large breasts, but we use these for, these were some gigantic chickens. But we use these for like roasting in the oven to do our deli meat and stuff. We don't sell those big breasts on their own. Usually the smaller portions.
Be funny watching Frank get stuffed into an oven. Oh, I'm just watching him get cooked slowly while he screams. If only life were fair.
Chicken breasts are what we have on the website. Whole chickens are back in stock too. We got some smaller ones, as well as some unreasonably large 6-pound chickens. Here is all our venison. We're kind of waiting on a restock. I think we need some more ground venison. And if you guys did want any...
No, they're not. Haven't you heard the term "the customer is always right"?
Yeah, they're not. Say more often than not, the customer's wrong. Thanks for the donation, though, Dodo.
Like vegetables and fruits or stuff. We have a small selection of fruits and vegetables. Here's something special, which is our ground poultry. You know, ground chicken breast over here. That's the ground chicken breast, and then we have regular ground chicken, the other parts of the chicken. These are just all of our vegetables that we over here. These are the custard donuts, and these are the apple fry pies. Should actually take. Oh no, these are blueberry fry pies. A lot of stuff on the website, guys. A lot of stuff. These are all the hamburgers and cheeseburgers that we made. Definitely not comparable to White Castle. Got some ground turkey down there as well. This is some rabbit kidneys. A lot of different stuff over here.
Fuck eats rabbit kidneys. Fuck you.
Most of this is lamb. I think this is all lamb. Like when I the recipes either. Like they're in their own world. Oh, they really are.
Can you stop promoting Frank on your channel? I've seen multiple times people, hate watchers or whatever in chat say they're placing an order with him now and didn't know about him until you promoted him. Can you stop reacting to him? He benefits from it.
Yeah, so I just have such a difficult time looking at how many products I have, how many business I have, all of this stuff I sell, how much harder I've had to work than basically any other business owner, and how little I've been rewarded in comparison. Like God knows how many hundreds of different products I have at this point. God knows how much more variety I offer than any other business, and how much more affordable the products are. And because I have all these people stealing.
That fridge looks like a factory for foodborne illness breeding.
Yeah, it probably is. Thanks for the donation, Frank's health inspector.
VG, you need to watch that whole Trump autism briefing thing. It was some of the most mind-numbingly retarded shit I've seen in a while from this nigga, and that's saying something. Also,
And tomorrow we're going to have one of the biggest announcement, really medically, I think, in the history of our country. We're going to be doing it with Bobby and Oz and...
Somebody already sent me that. Thanks for the donation, retard.
Stealing my ideas, stealing money from me, not giving me credit. It's completely, I don't know what to do at this point. Hey, look, I guess if I am right, I'm going to live longer than most of these people, so at their funeral I get to make sure they're remembered for the truth as opposed to what they want the truth to be. That's the long game, huh? Everyone thinks he's a famous and well, just for the Dr. Taban thing. Imagine, however many years from now. Oh, he was such a good doctor, and I show up with my flyers. Remember me, buddy? Fucking cops. Yeah, I don't really know what to do at this point. And on top of all of that nonsense, like getting a contractor or like a plumber or an electrician to actually do a decent job without gouging your eyes out, that's a whole nother different story. And the only reason that any of these other businesses are successful is because they control the media platforms. So I'm shadow banned and censored, and no one really knows about me. So what they get to do is they get like the entire United States to try out their business, and they get a ton of orders over a couple of years, and then they don't get repeat customers because it's not a great business and they're not actually offering a good product at a good price. So after they make a boatload of money scamming people off being the best new thing, they just shut down, restart their business under another name and do the exact same thing over and over again. And while stealing ideas from legitimate small businesses like mine. You know, that guy that's, I mean, just off the top of my head, Guy that stole the mastic gum idea probably made millions of dollars selling the mastic gum as chewing gum. Guy that stole the best bar idea, Jacob Bar, probably made over $1 million at this point. You know, the guy that started doing the ice cream for bears, stealing my honey ice cream. There's probably at least, you know, the potato chip people. There's at least a dozen businesses that have been started.
CDG, donate $2. Do you grow hairs on your shoulders and upper arms, or just tiny bitch hairs? Put your upper arms and shoulders up to the camera. Let me see. I have a bit of hair there. I'm not going to bother. Thanks for the donation, CDG.
Started by these Freemason Illuminati degenerates that have stolen my idea and made millions of dollars while censoring and shadow banning me and no one knowing where the original idea came from. And they will say horrible things about me for you not to find out the truth. Because if you did find out the truth, you wouldn't be buying from these people. And they're offering inferior products at...
Again, Frank has made $5.4 million in net revenue, and he's claiming nobody knows about his business and he can't make money.
higher prices. The guy selling the chewing gum, it's twice the price.
They shilled Luca Vorin, folinic acid to cure autism, and Dr. Oz, the administrator of Medicare and Medicaid, owns iHerb, which is one of the largest over-the-counter retailers of it.
It's almost as if they planned this to enrich themselves. Oh my god. You can't make this shit up, dude. Thanks for the donation, retard.
It's 3 times the price that what I'm selling it for. The guy selling those bars, again, almost twice the price, and he's adding ingredients that aren't good in it. Same with the potato chips. They're not using organic potatoes, and they're twice the price. The ice cream for bears, the guy's using like ingredients that aren't USDA organic, not raw either. It's just a laundry list of scammers and like snake oil and bullshit. I'm tired of dealing with it. What's the point anymore?
I'm tired because I just had a hard training session, dipshit. And I've been taking B12 injections, you dumb fuck. My god, shut the fuck up, you idiot.
What? What you want to do about it, dog? Oh, hey, you want some, dog? Yeah. You? Okay, let's go. Bring it around the side. What's up there? Oh, yeah. You in disrespect? I'll beat the out your ass.
Do you guys remember the last time we saw Peggy Watson and Jack the shithead Epstein on a live stream together? It's always some shit show. Remember they went back to Peggy's house and all that shit happened between him and Angie? Well, now I know every time I see these two assholes' face on the screen again to grab my popcorn and sit back, because we all know.
CDG, donate $2. Can you read chat for once? You only talk to people who give you money. And my other question, why are you such tired retard? Are you that weak you always fall asleep after workout? Do you think pro bodybuilders fall asleep every time? Yeah, they do. Shut up.
It's gonna be a show. And this time, it was no different. Remember that asshole Joe Son, right? Which now we know is special ed. He's a special ed student, right?
That's not what I want a girl to look at me at. I just want someone solid, someone real.
Remember he took out the dumbbell on the 7-foot monster? Well, now he turned on his master, but he didn't pull out a dumbbell this time. He pulled out a fucking knife. But then it gets better. Remember Paulie Shore? The tranny Paulie Shore who had to go get a bitch kick in, right? He always wants that last lick to show he did something. Well, you know what he did? He went up to Joe Son and he pushed him. But that wasn't it all. Jack brought me up because you guys know how much Wes loves me, right? Well, he brought me up on the live stream, and you know what this asshole says? He says he's in the process of suing me. Wait until I show you all this shit. So as I was saying, you know, these two, we see them on the screen together. We know some shit is going down, and I truly think, you know, Jack is paying this asshole, I think, $10,000 per stream, right, to get him on, because that asshole wants attention, right? He wants his clips, and he's got to do a little bit more than just getting in these fake car accidents. So he gets Wes on there, and he knows some shit's going down. But what I didn't know is I didn't know that Jack was such a fan of my work, because he goes and he takes out his phone, he shows it to Wes, and he goes, listen, I really like these videos, even though they're hating on us. I think they're really well done, right? And I think he's trying to get a reaction out of Wes because he knows our history, right? So he whips out his phone, he shows it to Wes, and look at Wes's face when he sees me. And you know what he says? He goes, he's in the process of getting sued. So this asshole thinks he could sue me.
He's like a famous person everybody knows.
Who's that guy that, like, I saw a YouTube video, it did, like, really good, too. It was, like, of the live stream we did.
Lol, not even.
Oh, no. He got a couple 100,000 views, and he was just saying a bunch of shit. But he was hating on me and you like crazy, but, like, it's interesting to watch, you know? I like, sometimes I watch videos that are bad about me, sometimes I don't, but, like, people I don't know, it's, like, funny to see their point of view, but he's so hateful. I gotta find the video.
I have never worried about what another man's doing. And people think I do because I talk about the habits that'll level someone up. So
This guy. These videos.
I do a fucking quick.
Yeah, I know, I can tell. He attracts your life.
Yeah. The guy just lives off of my nutsack.
Off your
basically
videos.
The dandruff out my beard and the sweat off my nutsack the guy lives off. We won't say his name.
Yeah. No, I already know. But, like, literally, you get him.
Maybe it was Winnie the Pooh who stole Frank's ice cream for bears only. I just feel sorry for Winnie because a bear like him does not need to be eating junk food.
Well, Winnie the Pooh's a fucking cunt. So what are you gonna do? Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
The most views.
He's in the process of getting sued.
I watch hateful videos on me, and then I'm kidding. I don't know.
But this is the thing. You can't sue somebody, right? For making comedy roast videos on you because you do stupid shit all around town, right? Backed by factual information. I don't bullshit over here. I never make any claims, conspiracy theories, nothing. If I don't have something in black and white, I don't speak about it. And I spoke to my lawyer this morning, and he told me, John, I've been waiting for this piece of shit to pull something like this because I can't wait to go in on him. And if it's true, and Wes is doing some dumb shit like that, he's gonna waste his money and he's gonna pay my lawyer fees. But you're also gonna piss me off because you know why? I've never looked into how you really made your money. So if you want me to investigate that one, keep up the bullshit, asshole. So now back to the shit show. Wes and Jack, they were sitting on the table. Of course, he's yapping some dumb shit, right? And some kid saw them, a fan, and he wants to go up to him. He wants a picture maybe or an autograph, right? But you know what Wes tells him? He goes, get the fuck out of here, right? And then he goes and tells his idiotic bodyguard to go slap the shit out of him. What kind of shit is that?
Holding out like,
Shut up and turn around. We're filming. Shut the fuck up. Shut up and turn around. We're filming.
In fact, if Winnie the Pooh did eat Frank's ice cream, he would most likely get sick and die as with any other bear that ate it.
Yeah. It's not fit for bear consumption. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
It's funny how Negro Burgess sets rules like don't say this person's name or whatever horse shit he feels like. And then expects people who weren't here when he set the rule, to know about the rule and follow it. And he gets mad and bans them. Dipshit.
Yeah, if I don't recognize somebody's name and they bring up that horse shit, I don't need them here. They're just fucking losers. I don't know why you're talking about something that's long done, moved past. They're just fucking losers with no life, and I don't want them in my fucking chat. Thanks for the donation, 21st.
I'm not even in the Alfonso, smack him. Not even the camera shot. I don't know when we're talking. We're drunk, shut up. These little kids get their ass beat, now shut the fuck up. Yeah, but what the fuck? Go around your buddies, they'll talk to you. Dude, the whole thing is you're hating because we're trying to do something. Okay, Jack, what's next for you, bro?
What's next for me? I'm looking for my wife, you know? I need my... He's from Gainesville, though, you know what I'm saying?
Just turn around and go to your table, bro.
This guy can't take, anything.
Don't even film him. Don't even think he's...
Thanks for the membership, Kale Boy. Appreciate it.
Like when people ask you if you're still in a relationship.
So then Wes, of course, goes back into his bullshit talk about UFC fighters and how none of them can fuck him up because he didn't have enough last time. When they came and they actually talked shit back to him, he ran away and hid like a bitch. So of course he's going in again.
You guys, I will always say some shit that pisses someone off. It doesn't matter. Suck my okay, look at UFC fighters. Okay, look at your parents were rich enough to buy karate class. I had a gun at 12, motherfucker. We're way different. I went to state prison, motherfucker. You're a square who rolls around with it's in a fucking ring, okay? I don't give a fuck about your fighting self. Look at, I'll call two people and we get smoked in the car. Shut the like, we're not the same, bro. You wanna like wrestle me and shit. I'm not trying to wrestle nobody. I'm trying to have a good day, and if you keep bringing up the fuck that you want to fight me or something, I'm just gonna have to end you. That's just how it works. I don't give a fuck. Like, you guys are fucking a trip with that shit. Like, most people are like this. I don't want to fight, just have a good day. And you guys are like, can I BJJ you? I don't want a blowjob, bro. I don't want that shit. I want to BJJ. I don't know what the fuck that means. You guys are gay. Run that back. Run it back. Run it back again.
That was fucking vodka.
Run it back again.
While he's going in, right, the kid comes up again. But you know what happens this time? Remember Joe San, who we know he's not so bright, right? He gets up, gets out of his chair, and pushes the poor kid.
You get kicked off. No, I'm not telling you. Fucking turn around, dude. No one's worried about you. Get out of here.
Retard donated $2.
Parts of the world are going through, and I will say there are parts of the world that don't take Tylenol. I mean, there's a rumor, and I don't know if it's so or not, that Cuba, they don't have Tylenol because they don't have the money for Tylenol, and they have virtually no autism, okay? Tell me about that one. And there are other parts of the world where they don't have Tylenol, where they don't have autism.
Yeah, I'm sure the Tylenol company isn't happy that he's saying that. This is fucking retarded.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. President. I want to go back to the Amish community, if I can, just for a second. I recently saw a man from Minnesota, an Amish man from Minnesota, on a podcast, And the host asked him what the rates were for like ADHD and autism, and he had no idea about ADHD, didn't know that it existed, and certainly didn't know of any cases. What are they
It
doing?
doesn't exist with the Amish community, and they don't take all of this junk. It
Yeah, it's not true.
doesn't exist. That tells you, doesn't that tell you? That's like, that's like certain countries where it doesn't exist and they don't take it. Would you like to make a comment about that, Mark?
The Amish population is a very mixed group, so there's a subset that take vaccines, a subset that does not, and we know they have very low rates of chronic disease all across the board.
Yeah, thanks for the donation, retard.
Free my man Welk. Boy ain't do nothing wrong, he's just a little gay and retarded jury writer.
$21st, donate $2. Okay, no more money then. That's great. Don't care.
To be fair, the Amish community are scum.
Yeah, they are. They're pieces of shit. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Rob, don't even work, Rob, don't. Rob, leave him alone.
Just stupid. Okay. So we're having some problems back here with some. You guys have 12, bro. Just show me your dick and I'll probably trip out. Man, what the hell is that?
Shit, imagine your food is way out there. Oh my god. Why is it still going back?
Look at there's a fight breaking out. Alfonso's jumping people.
And this is where hell all breaks loose. Because Joe Son, while Wes is talking, he sees that kid again. He gets up and he wants to fuck with him again. But that's when the tranny Paulie Shore sees him, and we know this guy, the pig, he wants that last kick. So he wants to show Wes, you know, he's doing something. So he goes and he tries to get in Joe Son's face, right?
What are you doing right here? Go over. Hey, Rondo. Think about what you're talking about. Hey, you guys are on the middle of the stream shit right here. Get the fuck out of the camera. I'll both you guys up. Straight up.
So then Joe Son sits down. He tries to sit down back at the table right after that confrontation with Paulie Shore. And Wes got pissed. He's like, you asshole, how can you go and fuck with a 12-year-old kid, right? But he forgets something. Joe Son's a fucking moron. He heard Wes telling the bodyguard, go slap him. So he thought he'd get on his good side. He went and tried. And now Wes turned on him.
Same time, motherfucker. Hey, have some respect, dude. We're doing shit right here, dog. That shit one more time, I swear to God, dude. What the f*** you doing, dude? Take that shit somewhere else, dude. We're doing some shit right here, dog. What the fuck? What? What you want to do about it, dog? Oh, hey, you want something, dog? Yeah. You do? Okay, let's go. Bring it around the side. You're stuck there. Oh, yeah. You want to disrespect me? I'll beat the dog shit out of your ass. You think you get it? Don't come back here. Turn this shit off. I've been removed. No, we're fucking doing some shit right here. You want to disrespect me? Straight up. You want it? Very bad. That's not fucking respectful. You're doing the whole fucking time. Start put that shit, push some 12-year-old kid with dick in the camera, take that shit somewhere else. I swear to God, I'll come to your house, right? I'll put shit out your ass. It's not on him. Out your little ass. I'll fuck your ass up so fucking bad, dude. I'll be at your house.
The shit got so bad between Joe Son and Wes, right? They started going back and forth with each other. Jack Doherty, like a little bitch like he always does, he runs away, right? He runs away. And you know what Joe Son does? He doesn't pull out a dumbbell. He pulls out a fucking knife on Wes.
If anything happens, like low-key pan to it. Like, this is crazy. Whoa, what the fuck? What's he have in his hand? A knife? What the fuck? He has a knife in his hand. Not Wes, the other guy. Wes is just eating food now. Wes is standing his ground, bro. That other guy was freaking out like crazy at first. Then I was like, and the Wes steps in, and I'm like, oh shit, like, all right, Wes gotta throw you over. Oh, he's like, no, I'm kidding, like, not like that. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, okay, I'm good now. I just didn't want to get in the middle of this shit. I was quiet as a dog.
Want to meet you up front? I'll your shit up so bad you can never beat foot. I'll fucking beat the f out your ass. I'll show you who the f you are, motherfucker.
Man, don't.
What? You want a problem? You think it's right to do that for the shit we're doing right here? I'll meet you in your pad. Let's go. I'll meet you over there. Take your Uber over there. I'll meet you out front. I'll meet you over there. Let's go.
I don't even know what the fuck's happening.
You want some? Let's go. Meet me over there.
I don't know if I'm gonna get my steak bites, so.
What? What you want? I ain't that dude, fool. I'll f your shit up so bad I'll terrorize you, fool. I'll f
kill your ass, dude. You want it? You think you go f*** me? Okay, let's meet over there. Let's meet over there. A lot of men holding the ground. Dude, you're so f***ing slow, I'll beat the shit out of you. Let's go, let's meet over there. Let's go, I'm gonna show him who he is. Let's
Richard
go.
Burgess, Bitchard Rurgis, Dumchard Durgis, Skitchard Gurgis, Slitchard Lurgis, Vishard Vergis, Quitchard Quergis, Stitchard Turgis, Jitchard Jurgis, Zichard Zurgis, Nishard Nurgis, Pitchard Purgis, Yichard Yurgis, Witchard Wurgis, Sichard Surgis, Fishard LLL.
Thanks for the donation on Web. Appreciate that.
Where's Robert's pad? Meet us over there. Take it over, motherfucker. I'll meet you over your pad. I'll beat the shit out your ass right in front of your house. Let's go. Straight up. Straight up.
So it seems this shit show is getting worse every day. In Peggy Watson's life, it's something new. And knowing now there's substance abuse involved in all of this, we know crazy shit is gonna happen and it's only gonna get worse. But I noticed something, and I want to talk to you guys about it. There's a term that they use when people go to prison, right? And they're there for many years. It's called being institutionalized. And what that means is when these assholes, right, go to prison for a long time, right, they get used to that prison life. They never get used to the real world when they come out, so they don't know how to react to it. And if you notice, when Wes speaks and tells stories, and it doesn't matter if he's around Angie or around his crew of assholes, he's always bringing up his prison life as examples in the real world, which doesn't work.
Hey, the guy who's got the buck just punked the shit out of my ass. You guys are such pussies who think prison isn't a flex. You're such a fucking square. The most masculine thing you could ever do is not pay attention to society. Say fuck their rules. I say fuck your rules. I never even had a job, motherfucker. I got a Bugatti and never had a job. Never once. The most masculine thing you do is say fuck these rules. I listen. I'm going by my rules.
So Wes is an example of somebody who went to prison for many, many years, got adjusted to that prison life, getting pegged, doing all those things with the prisoners, getting used to that everyday life, right? Gets out and was never able to adjust to the real world. And it didn't matter about his rise, how much success he has, because it was bound to fail because he was never able to make those adjustments. So this is all happening in real time in front of our eyes, and God only knows what's going to happen next. Guys, thanks for watching.
What he said. So something about this thing says to me that Kimmel wanted this to happen.
Bob Iger jumped up on his desk and started tap dancing when this controversy started because it gave him a morality clause breach against Kimmel to terminate his contract a year early when he's losing money.
What we need to do is we need to not be killing each other, okay? And it's not
Nope. We're not watching that. I saw that guy and nope. I can't fucking be fucked.
Warning!
You're watching Dr. Todd.
He kind of shows. Everything's handpicked for sure.
Well, I've been watching you train for about 6-7 years now.
Okay.
And I noticed you haven't been putting stuff out lately on your channel.
Yeah, I kind of took a hiatus from all things public guide for the last 10 or 11 months. I was myself.
So when I was coming out today, and I was like, I don't think he's gonna want to get filmed, training and stuff. You meaning you, like.
Really, my God, Tim Pool is such a moron.
What was the other guy that annoyed me? I can't remember the guy's name, but I'm not watching that fucking dipshit. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm getting back to it now. Definitely getting the YouTube fired back up and just signed a deal with Bolt, so filming some stuff for them. So.
All right, sweet.
Time to get back out in public eye. It was nice taking a little time to myself, though, for sure.
Well, I'd love to get a training session in with you before I leave town.
What time? When do you leave?
Sunday.
Okay, so unfortunately I'm off Wednesday.
Hey Richard, the first see you're a bit depressed today. I have something that will cheer you up.
Alright, thanks for the donation, CDG.
And then Thursday I fly out to Phoenix for the Rising Phoenix, the bodybuilding show.
Okay.
So make it happen again sometime.
Well, I'm doing the San Antonio Pro.
Okay.
I just did the Florida Pro.
Okay.
And I'll be passing through here again on the 21st or 22nd.
Okay, I think we're around then.
All right, cool.
Come through and catch a little peak week workout.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Where do you live
Detroit.
at? Okay. Right
We
on.
met at the Detroit Pro
Probably
the year before. Yeah.
That was a fun weekend. I remember.
Yeah. So I'm just wrapping up here. I normally do back and chest and delts, and then the next day I was doing arms and legs, and then the same thing Terrence does, but now I've split it up, so I do back and chest and delts, then arms is kind of like an active rest day, then I do legs. But yeah, you've got the best equipment.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, it's been a 5-year work in progress, but we have everything that I want, so.
Yeah, and I love the card idea.
Yeah, that's nice for sure.
Yeah.
Things you can do in a private gym that you can't do in a public gym.
Right. Well, you inspired me to like do this too one day. Oh, a massage table right here. And the psoas thing on the massage table. Now you guys have been here for 4 years, right?
We've been here 5 years.
5 years. God, this is big. Wow, did your dad have this built or was this already in existence? You have a library.
All right, guys, so welcome to Labrada Nutrition. Y'all have seen the gym, but wanted to give y'all a tour of the rest of the building, starting in the warehouse. So we recently opened up our second warehouse. The second warehouse is exclusively for truckloads of RTDs. If it's less than a truckload, it comes out of this warehouse, and if it's anything else we make, it comes out of this warehouse. So
In it. And so you probably have to shake it.
we definitely had to work with it subtly.
Supplement industry is fucking crazy. Oh, fucking bizarre how many people buy these stupid supplements. Oh, fuck.
For a while, but it's pretty settlement free. And obviously, guys, it's a different view, but you can see these two big glass doors go straight into the gym. Makes it very convenient for playing gym equipment Tetris, which we actually did recently.
Ooh.
We got 6 new pieces and then moved some stuff out. All of this stuff's actually going to be going over to the second warehouse that we just opened, so all of those boys over there have a really nice gym for themselves as well.
That's awesome. You guys are the ones that started it, then Fuad did it, and it's like now the dream.
And then this is just where...
What's your diet been looking lately, brother?
It's 250 grams of blueberries, 1 orange, 1 lemon, and a smoothie. 100 grams of protein powder, and that's breakfast. And then I have another 100 grams of protein powder after workout, and block tofu, broccoli, and a sweet potato after training, and then I have tofu and broccoli as my last meal, and sometimes with an extra protein shake. Thanks for the donation, Justin.
Where we staged all of the RTD orders out of, so anything that's actually on the floor right now will all be gone by 2 o'clock in the afternoon tomorrow. So
wow,
all this will get gone.
Wow.
You know, we're typically running, 15, 20, even 30 trucks a day sometimes, normal day at this point. So.
And how many units go on each truck?
Couldn't tell you off the top of my head how many copies. And so now we are back in the gym, and I'll give you all a little run through on the office real quick. We have the bigger of the two conference rooms in here. This is where all the management meetings will take place, and then any meetings that we need the larger capacity for. We've got the RTDs on the wall.
Awesome.
Yeah. Front mission statement. We've had this up on the wall.
Happy birthday, dude.
All right, well, thank you. Thanks for the donation, Tyler. Sweet Potato After Training donated $2. That's great, thanks.
In whatever building we've been in since the inception of the company. So this is really near and dear to our hearts. And then this is actually the main entrance if you're a visitor or an employee. This is where you come in at a nice little lobby area. Downstairs we have the finance department, the accounting department, and HR. And then upstairs we have the upper level management along with the sales team. So bring you all upstairs, show you all the
awesome
conference room.
This is beautiful, the rock garden.
Yeah, no, they did a great job with that.
I've been getting Canada vegan wait. So a company called Canada Protein, and they sell a vegan protein powder in bulk for a discount, and I get the vegan chocolate flavor. I think it's $300 for 10 kilograms, so that's like 22 pounds.
That's a little bit of bodybuilding history. Those are all these Olympia medals from my
Yeah. It's so full circle that Lee was Terrence's inspiration, and then now Terrence is here.
And then obviously this is the second conference room. This is my favorite of the two conference rooms just because it has the little viewing gallery for the gym. It's a fun little touch.
This is awesome.
Lee always jokes about that gym being his golf course. He'll take business meetings with people and train with them instead of go play golf. So
it's awesome.
Nice. So I'll walk you through the office area, and then we'll go down the stairs, hit the kitchen, and that's about all the cool stuff.
It's beautiful. You even got art in all the cubicles. And it's like a super positive work environment.
Well, something really cool about Labrada is, we've had quite a few employees be here for 15, 20 plus years.
That's amazing.
A very, very low turnover. Everyone really enjoys being here. Definitely hate using the word business or family when it comes to business, but it is definitely a family environment.
Right.
COOs, my uncle, a couple of my cousins work here, my brother works here, so very much so a family business.
Now, when did your dad start it then?
1995, so we're
okay.
30 years in business this year.
That's incredible. And he stopped competing when, 87?
No, he retired in 93.
Oh, so he literally switched right over.
And then last but not least, we got the kitchen.
This is your favorite room.
Obviously, being a bodybuilding company, we have 6 blenders, 4 microwaves, and 2 refrigerators. And yeah, so that's pretty much Labrada in a nutshell, man.
So how's your eating going?
Good. I really haven't started pushing food at all for the last 10 months between just the hiatus that I chose to take and then having my shoulder surgery fixed. The caloric requirement hasn't been that high, so probably about 2 weeks ago, Ben and I, my coach, we bumped my food up a little bit, and between that and then introducing some things, my body's responding swimmingly. So
awesome.
Probably keep the food where it's at for a while and not stress my stomach out.
Because I was doing the chicken shakes for a few years, and it wasn't working as well for me. What's funny with me is I ran into a different problem because I wasn't chewing ever. It was the chicken was getting in pockets in my gums because I wasn't chewing. It wasn't pushing food out and new food coming in. It would just sit in there, so it started rotting inside and causing cavities deep under the gum line.
What the fuck?
I think you and me were the only two guys who took the liquid diets that seriously. Well, I appreciate the tour, man.
Absolutely, man. Glad we could show it to you. And Terrence is dying over there.
Well, I will hit you up.
I gotta run and grab my daughter, but
thanks for the tour.
Next time you're gonna be coming.
All right,
through
shoot.
town.
I will.
Love to have you.
Awesome, sweet.
Yeah, I appreciate
you. When you have
Aiden Ross being served by Megan the Stallion.
Have
somebody like Aiden Ross, who's very well known, and you have Megan Thee Stallion, and he's saying that she's a liar, basically. He's saying she committed perjury on the stand. I don't think she should take that sitting down. He doesn't know the fucking facts. I mean, he really doesn't know the facts. He wasn't there. He probably hasn't read the trial transcript, or maybe he has, I don't know. But why be so reckless, and why be so mean?
Aiden Ross can't read. He's literally illiterate. Like, he literally cannot read. It's kind of insane how somebody like Aiden Ross can make so much money. He's actually retarded. I'm sure if you were to give him an IQ test, I think he'd be under borderline retarded. It would be like, yeah, you're retarded. You're like, not that retarded, but you're retarded enough where you're not even borderline retarded. You're just retarded.
I mean, she clearly was injured. It was proven in court. Tory Lanez was convicted. You know, I mean, so he had his day in court. She testified. The judge didn't find that she was not credible. The jury didn't find that she wasn't credible. You know, they believed what she had to say, and they convicted him of shooting her, and she had an injury. But clearly they believed, you know, that something happened, that Tory Lanez was responsible.
Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer.
And talk about celebrity anonymous around the clock of conquest.
Chris donated $2.
So these 4 categories highlight what we would say are the basics of demonology, the 4 categories that you will find people falling into.
I don't fucking care.
Ephesians 1.
I am not watching that. Thanks for the donation, Chris.
He says, what kind of scotch does Bruce Rivers drink? Why don't you guess? I love scotch, by the way. The best way to drink scotch is if you have and I got that from the Scotch, 1, maybe 2. Here it is. Can you change the pick? Batman, because they flew in, took care of business. And there's 4 lawyers, 4 judges, and did commit the crime, but pleads not guilty at $500 at all, because there's no argument as to what happened. Some people have had that happen. I don't think a judge can really have the authority to tell you have to represent so-and-so just because you're a member of the bar. I don't think that's the case. But it does happen, and you don't really say no because you don't want to piss off the judge. All right, so let's get into Megan Thee Stallion. This is a situation where Aiden sends a message to Megan Thee Stallion's show.
Free Tory is always free Tory. Show the bullet wound, bitch. Sorry, Z. Come on, bro. He lied on my man's name. Lied on my man's name. Free Tory.
Oh, he's like, what type?
So one of the things I think you got to worry about when you are doing this kind of thing is, you know, I mean, his streams are long. So Candace Owens was in the same boat. She's being sued by Macron and his wife for defamation. And I think it's pretty clear she's a woman. I mean, she may be masculine in some senses, but I mean, what are you doing? I mean, all you're doing is just getting views because you're outrageous. And that's what this whole thing is. And one of the things that you have to worry about when you do that is a reckless disregard for the truth. And, you know, and there's a certain maliciousness in that. So you saw that clip there, and where he's saying, you know, show the bullet wound, bitch. That's really not, that's just him saying, show it, right? But he's not believing that she was even shot.
I think the other side that voluntarily lied under oath deserves to go into jail. You're proceeding to ruin another person's life based off jealousy, anger, hatred.
So now he's saying she lied under oath. Now, it's one thing to just state your opinion.
For I am sure that neither death nor life, nor angels nor rulers, nor things present nor things to come, nor powers, nor height nor depth, nor anything else in all creation, will be able to separate us from the love of God in Christ Jesus our Lord.
Yeah, that's great. Don't care, faggot.
When you're a public figure, you have to take a certain amount of abuse. You just do. There's that New York Times versus Sullivan case, and that basically says there has to be publication, it has to be knowingly false, and there has to be a malicious intent. Clearly, he's got an opinion that she lied. If he knows for a fact she told the truth, and then goes off and says, something different, well, then, it is what it is, right? I mean, that's your malicious intent right there. And what is he doing here? I mean, he's basically just saying all this stuff just to get views and just to be outrageous. I mean, he may really think that. She's ruining somebody's life because she snitched, but I mean, according to her, she got fucking shot. You shoot me. If I don't shoot you back, I'm going to fucking tell on you. I mean, that's not snitching. That's just good old fashioned comeuppance, I mean, those are just desserts. If we're caught together in a crime and then I snitch on you, that's bad form. You don't fucking do that. I don't represent snitches. Megan Thee Stallion is not, let's see, according to, who is this? This is a BET.com. Megan Thee Stallion is not playing around as she has recently served Aiden Ross papers using a mariachi band. Do we have a video of that? Okay, so she served that. I think that's just absolutely fantastic. I think she served him with a mariachi band. That's hilarious. So the streamer shared the details with DJ Academics, sharing how his security wouldn't take the papers from the band. They called a mariachi, like a Mexican band, to perform outside my house to make me want to come outside, so they served me papers, he told Academics. Here's the thing. You can't avoid a subpoena forever or avoid papers. Because if you can't serve somebody because they're dodging you, you can ultimately just serve it by publication. He proceeded to show proof, sending the blogger a picture while on the live stream. My lawyer's like, Aiden, just tell them to contact me, he continued. Me and my lawyer are hopping on a call tomorrow to figure out when I'm going to do the deposition. So, I mean, when you start a lawsuit, like when Trump started his lawsuit against the New York Times or the Wall Street Journal, I think it was the Wall Street Journal, you open the door, Pandora's box, to discovery. The Wall Street Journal didn't have access to Donald Trump before that. Now they do, baby. Now you open that up, and all of a sudden you have got a situation where you now have to answer discovery, and if your lawyers are just, like that lawsuit against Cardi B. Remember that lawsuit? I mean, that didn't last long. I mean, and they got zeroed out, and those lawyers put a lot into that, and a lot of their own money, and they got zero. So let's look at a couple more clips from Mr.
I'll just be upfront, bro. I can only stream maximum of 5 hours for a wild chat. That's all I can say. But I'm trying to get that shit handled ASAP. I can't even speak much about it, but I should be as transparent with you guys as possible. That's why I've been fucking not streaming, bro, because I'm trying to fix this shit. So I actually, I put a lot of my assets in other people's names. I don't have really any of my assets in my name.
Brother, you shouldn't admit this.
What do we call that? Well, you can't see it on that one. Let me put it a little
Self-snitching.
brighter. Do you think his lawyer wants him to say that? I mean, I actually don't put anything in my name. Do you think that putting it in somebody else's name to hide the asset is something that is going to prevent acquisition of that asset? It's not.
What?
You shouldn't admit this.
What do you mean?
Like you're admitting that your assets.
What? That's not a bad thing. I have trusts and I have. What do you mean?
If you set up a trust for whatever reason, it doesn't shield you from liability. If you have access to it, if you put all your shit in your mother's name just to hide it, they can get it. I mean, it's not untouchable. And then saying it like that is just it's really stupid. So this is a clip of Aiden Ross talking about getting served outside of his house.
They couldn't serve me outside my house. My security wasn't taking it. Listen to what the lawyers did. They call a mariachi to my house. They call the mariachi to my house.
Slow down. The Rock Nation lawyers.
Yes.
They called what?
A mariachi, like a Mexican band, to perform outside my house.
You're lying.
I swear to God, I have a picture. Look.
That is so creative. I mean, it's not abusive. It's kind of cute, really.
Look, I'm gonna show it to you. I'm gonna show the tattoo. Look, I swear to God, all my life.
mariachi band to your house
to make me want to come outside so they could serve me the paper. Let me show you this picture. I swear to God, look, I'm showing it to you. Show it to your chat. I'm gonna show it to my stream too.
What the fuck?
Hold on, I gotta scroll up. I swear my life. Look, Ack.
No fucking way.
Look. Swear to God. I have no reason to lie, bro. That's my driveway, and that's a mariachi band. So my security.
That's kind of weird. Never heard of that before.
Is like, yo, at this point, bro, fuck. I'm like, yo, my lawyer's like, Aiden, just tell them to contact me. So me and my lawyer hopping on the call tomorrow to figure out when I'm gonna do the deposition, what you did, and I'm gonna ask if I can stream it.
Yo, they're not.
You ain't gonna be able to stream it.
Yo, they're not giving up. By the way, so I could tell they're salty, and I'm gonna blame. Well, I'm gonna take blame. It was going like, yo, Act, you owned them so much. They hit me again.
No way.
Oh yes, they did. They said, so
is
remember
kicked
I
down?
sat through 7 hours of questioning from Rock Nation. Flawlessly just dismantled them. And they said there was one question. They said one question you didn't answer to our satisfaction. And they said, we're approaching the federal court in New Jersey to try to force you to answer the question.
So here's what happens when you get into civil discovery. I fucking hate civil.
Let the wicked forsake his way, and the unrighteous man his thoughts. Let him return to the Lord, that he may have compassion on him, and to our God, for he will abundantly pardon.
That's great. I don't know why Christianity is so appealing to people. You're basically worshiping a long-haired gay hippie who's like some fucking dark-skinned Middle Eastern dude. Faggot didn't even lift. How many fucking push-ups could Jesus do?
Civil discovery. It is so arduous. Hard to get to a jury, honestly. So they start out with requests for admissions, requests for documents and tangible things. And then they go to requests for interrogatories, and that's a series of questions, written questions. So you have to write all this shit out, and then you once you get done with that, maybe you get the second or third set of interrogatories, and then you get you're deposed. So then you sit for that. So I mean, the civil process is, and if you don't answer the questions, that you can go to a judge and say, "Hey, judge, they're not answering questions. Now we want attorney's fees because they made us file this motion, and go outside the normal process. Now we're compelling them, to answer." That's what he's talking about.
So I don't know if I have to do
The
another.
vexation of a fool is known at once, but the prudent ignores an insult. Proverbs 12:16.
The title by itself could tilt either way. Ketones are somehow harming the liver, and that's why we're having a sicker liver, or ketones are helping the liver, and the liver would otherwise be sicker without them. Which is it? Well, if you used a low carbohydrate diet before, or you fasted for periods of time, you know that your liver produces ketones, sort of pre-metabolized fat molecules, if you don't know what that is. That being the case, it might be of use to know why these ketones are tracking with worse liver health, shown here. NAS or NAS is liver damage, with the further right indicating more damage. And
Dodo declares not only that, but he also sends people to eternal torture forever just for not loving him back. Yeah, that's another thing he does. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
And the further up indicating more ketone production. The line tracks up and to the right, indicating a relationship between more ketone production and more liver injury. That's why I posed this initial question, because although we see this relationship, we can't say that ketones are actually causing the liver damage. We can get answers to that by looking at specific experiments that tease out the direct effect, like looking at animals that have a genetic knockout or removal of a key gene involved in ketogenesis, i.e. the production of ketones. As these animals are incapable of...
What supplements are you currently taking? And are you still tracking your micronutrients?
I'm taking multivitamin, vitamin D2, B12 injections, EPA, DHA, algae oil, and vitamin D2, or I mean D3.
Why are these losers back from high school still getting pussy and I am not? I have a tech job and make 6 figures. I live in a nice apartment. I have a nice car and these girls on social media still love these thugs. It makes me angry. What should I do?
Just buy a prostitute. Thanks for the donation, dude. And no, I'm not a pedantic fuckwit who tracks micronutrients. I just get blood work occasionally, and so far throughout my entire life, I have never been deficient in anything.
Producing ketones, this allows us to tease out if the ketones are exacerbating the liver damage or not. When looking at something like liver weight, we can see the ketone incapable condition, so the knockout on the right, versus those that do still generate ketones. Clearly, the liver is much bigger when ketones are not present. So, is that a good thing? No, probably not. Because when we look at the contents of the liver, we're looking at measurements of liver fat, not something that you want a lot of. As we know from health conditions like fatty liver disease, in these images, the more white and discoloration, the more fat molecules are stored in and between the liver cells, which we clearly see in the ketone-less condition, confirmed in the bar graph. So, this all tells us that while ketones associated with worse liver health, the likelihood is that the ketones are actually a protective mechanism, as removing them worsens liver health. Pretty remarkable, right? Then, why? How is your liver using ketogenesis, remember that's ketone production, to protect itself from harm? Well, when exposed to fat, your liver uses a number of mechanisms to either metabolize or export that fat. These are normal processes. So, for example, your liver can burn the fat.
Yes, just because my B12 was lower than normal, that doesn't mean I was deficient, stupid.
Known as beta oxidation, or it could export it in fat-carrying particles like low-density lipoproteins, or it can produce ketones. However, when your ketone production is impaired, your liver now only has 2 primary mechanisms to deal with the influx of fat. Oddly enough, however, while that might seem like enough, ketogenesis seems to play a role as a pressure release valve, in a manner of speaking, for fat metabolism, the first mechanism that we just discussed. I say that because when ketogenesis is impaired, fat metabolism, the beta oxidation that we discussed, is also significantly reduced. The short of it then is your production of ketones by your liver is not only acting as a mechanism to deal with the fat molecules being taken up from your diet and your fat tissue by producing it into usable energy, so ketones, but also allows the normal fat metabolism of your liver to function normally. All of that culminates into less fat being pathologically stored in your liver, i.e. fatty liver disease. And if you want even shorter explanation, ketone production is liver protective. Now, I'm going to get into an exciting possibility related to what we went over by marrying some human studies to the research that we've just been relying on. And there's another massive study that goes into how a particular ketone may play a uniquely protective role on the liver. And there's much more to say on what ketogenesis does inside your liver cells that make it uniquely protective, as well as some additional considerations to keep in mind. That's all covered in the insider version of this video that you're watching. If you want access to a whole video library with more depth, along with weekly articles to accompany protocols and guides, live sessions with me, and more, check out the link in the description and join the mysterious land of the Physionic Insiders. And then you get in there and it's a bunch of old people playing chess talking about the weather. It isn't, FYI. I mean, we can, but that's not the most common topic. It's how to avoid lower back pain. We're young and full of life. Okay, in fact, this is also proven true in human trials, and there might even be preliminary evidence that ketones could be an added benefit in combating liver damage. I'm talking about these trials, among others, that indicate very low carbohydrate diets that raise ketone levels do tend to improve liver markers of health. But beyond that, in one study, a ketogenic diet was compared against a non-ketogenic diet. Only the former raises ketones significantly, and the results indicated greater fat removal from the liver in the ketogenic diet, although both groups started out with equivalent fatty liver disease. That, paired with the fact that the researchers found a strong correlation between elevated ketone levels and reduced liver fat, offers an exciting possibility. Possibly, a nutrition that prioritizes ketone production could be especially potent, even more so than plain calorie restriction on removing harmful fat from the inside of the liver. And it's entirely possible it's through this very mechanism of increasing the fat molecule sink, ketogenesis. In summary, a very low carbohydrate diet could be uniquely potent at reversing fatty liver disease. It should be pointed out that the study was very short, so it only offers a glimpse into initial possibilities, but there are studies lasting multiple months that also indicate, at the very least, benefits of low carbohydrate ketone promoting diets. But even so, could we just raise ketones and get the same effects? And how would we think about all this for our own use? The answer is no, we can't increase ketones to mimic the
Yeah, I've tried taking melatonin for sleep. Didn't do anything. Never noticed it. Never noticed it doing anything. They still haven't released point 3.
These benefits, because we know there's a lengthy metabolic consequence, an interrelationship between these different mechanisms of eliminating fat from the liver. It's not only the ketones themselves, but the production of the ketones that lends itself to this protective mechanism. It's a little like the liver has to work for its health like we do through exercise. There's no exercise pill, you gotta just work for it, and the liver does too. That said, a very low carbohydrate diet, which is defined a bunch of different ways, but typically follows the rule of less than 5% of your nutrition can be carbohydrates of any sort. Some use stricter guidelines of less than 20 grams of carbohydrates. However, both will likely raise ketones through the necessary ketogenesis that we discussed. The greater the carbohydrate restriction, the more ketones are produced. For those that fast, that's the most potent way. So, all this put together, we have evidence that yes, increased production of ketones tracks with worse liver health. But that is likely because the liver is using ketone production as a release valve to eliminate as much of this unwanted fattiness inside the liver. And in fact, what human evidence that we have suggests strongly that ketone promoting nutrition like low carbohydrate diets and fasting protect the liver, heal the liver. And although more data is needed, may be superior to other forms of nutrition in supercharging the elimination of unwanted fat from the liver. And if you're on a quest for eliminating a lack of health education for
Simp for cocked tillers. Would you really have a problem with it, though? I mean, is it really that big of a deal?
how can a mitochondrial protein
What should people like this do? I don't care. Thanks for the donation, Simfercock.
Found inside your kidneys cause kidney failure? Well, we'll find out. But beyond that, there are multiple things, including a shunned supplement that can help prevent all the kidney chaos. As your kidneys filter all the molecules in your blood to keep them or dispose of them, your kidneys use a lot of energy to fulfill that function. And I don't know if you've heard the word going around the block, but the mitochondria, it's the powerhouse of the cell. That includes kidney cells, or if you want to get professional, renal cells. So to support that energy production, predictably, mitochondria have to be spitting out mass amounts of cellular energy, known as ATP. And in fact, many mitochondrial genes are associated with kidney function. However, one critically important protein in mitochondria, called TFAM, dramatically reduces the kidney's ability to generate energy through mitochondria when it's missing. In fact, we see that here from this big study looking at the relationship. This is in animals missing TFAM in red at different time points. We're seeing cellular energy, remember that's ATP, clearly both conditions with TFAM missing, called a knockout, indicate reduced cellular energy. And in human kidneys, there is a simple association between lower TFAM levels and worse kidney function. So, not definitive, but certainly suggestive considering the relationship that we're about to uncover. But what exactly does TFAM do? I mean, why is it leading to a significant reduction in our cells' ability to generate energy? It actually does multiple things, but the title doesn't include leaking mitochondria without reason, and it has to do with the functions of TFAM. TFAM folds and stabilizes mitochondrial genes by holding on to the mitochondrial DNA inside of our mitochondria. That protects the DNA from damage, but also stabilizes it for it to be read by gene-reading machinery and produced into functional mitochondrial proteins. So it's critically important for healthy mitochondria. But for some reason, the researchers showed that a loss of mitochondrial TFAM in the kidney leads to increased encroachment of immune cells, cysts bubbling up in the kidney, and kidney cells dying. So what's going on here? Well, it starts with this.
This only valid way to conduct a job interview.
What do you bench? 400. Squat? More like 5. Welcome aboard. Thank you, sir. I will not disappoint you.
Yes. Thanks for the donation, nigga.
We're looking at a measure of mitochondrial DNA found in the cytosol. Okay, if you don't know what that means, your cells are split between different compartments. Most of your genes are held in the nucleus, except for a small amount found in the mitochondria. The point being, they're supposed to stay there. So if they're in the space outside of those two compartments, like the cytosol, that's a big alarm bell. So let's try that again. We're looking at a measure of mitochondrial DNA. The higher the bars go up, the more DNA is found in the cytosol. Dun, dun, dun. I'm glad we could share that anxiety together. So the green bars indicate more mitochondrial DNA is leaking out of the mitochondria into the space that it's not supposed to be. Poorly functioning kidneys can be poorly functioning because of low concentrations of TFAM protein found inside the mitochondria, which leads to mitochondria genes leaking out of the mitochondria. That is the trigger for the invasion of immune cells, kidney cysts, and kidneys dying. That's the sum of it. But there's a puzzle piece still missing. How do we go from leaking mitochondria to all hell breaking loose in and around the kidney cells, the renal cells, if I might? Cytosolic, or in another term, outside the mitochondria, DNA gets bound by a protein called CGAS, or CGAS, which then activates a whole string of communication proteins within the kidney cells called the STING pathway. It doesn't sing well, but it'll really get your kidneys riled up. Now, one way to deal with this is to clamp down on the STING pathway, and the researchers do exactly that, literally cutting out the STING pathway and then measuring kidney function. The lower the bars, the better the kidneys are functioning. The red condition is the STING pathway knockout. Clearly, there's a significant improvement in kidney function. But these data, along with others, do not indicate a complete rescue of the kidney function. So that means that this leaking of DNA from mitochondria and the loss of TFAM itself have alternate ways of disrupting the kidney and causing chaos. So why not address that and work on encouraging TFAM? Well, in fact, there are multiple things that we can do to support TFAM and reduce our chances of kidney failure from leaking mitochondria, including a supplement that's been through the ringer a few times. And in fact, if you're interested in learning more on how to improve kidney health, including a different longevity supplements effects and how the kidneys dilate from TFAM insufficiency, and even going into how STING works, check out the full version of this video that you're watching. It's part of the Physionic Insiders. Yep, the one linked in the description. Oh, you also get all this stuff: private insider podcasts, live sessions with me, weekly articles, and more. But, you know, what are 4 things that we can do to support TFAM production as well as overall kidney health? I'll go over the most general to the most specific. The first thing is exercise. I realize that's awfully generic, and you want something like the Kidney Blaster 4000 ketone that you have to snort up your nose, but the reality is exercise directly stimulates TFAM potently throughout the body. To be clear, I haven't seen any good measurements in kidney, so there is an assumption here, but exercise has the most generalized positive impact on TFAM, and it does improve kidney health as a whole. The second is blood pressure control. There is evidence that TFAM is reduced with high blood pressure, and even more poignantly, high blood pressure harms kidney function and health. So if it's through exercise, nutrition, or making a deal with the devil, lowering and maintaining a normal blood pressure, which is currently around 120/80. The third is managing your potassium and sodium. Really, it's the balance between the two. Usually people consume far more sodium than they do potassium. So first, simply tracking the consumption of both over 3 days, and then introducing more of one or the other through rich foods or by supplementation can have direct, powerful impact on the kidneys. I have plenty of content on that. If you want more specifics, I'll add the links for you. Fourth, and most specifically, it's a supplement that's taken quite some heat in the longevity world for potentially not working as once believed. However, that doesn't mean that it's useless. And in fact, there are studies in humans that indicate effectiveness at improving kidney function, and we believe it may increase TFAM. The molecule is resveratrol. Its effects are apparently present even in people with healthy kidneys, but it is even more effective in people with high blood sugar. So we know that low TFAM levels in the kidney leads to significant kidney damage and death, and cysts and inflammation, and need I go on. We know that it's directly implicated, and we have some evidence, although I would want to see more, that people with poor kidney function have low TFAM levels. So assuming improving TFAM could help maintain normal blood pressure, some evidence indicates it only lasts 5.
CDG donated $2.
764 is a decentralized extremist network founded in 20.
Baal. Baal was the chief god of the Canaanites and Phoenicians, widely recognized as a...
Feels like it's been a while since the
2021 by Bradley Cadenhead, a teenager from Stephenville, Texas. Named after the town's zip code, it's classified as a Tier 1 terror network by the FBI and a terrorist group by the US Department of Justice. Active mainly on Discord and Telegram, 764 targets vulnerable youth, especially those who are marginalized. The group uses blackmail to force victims into recording harmful acts for sharing within the network or on social media. Victims may be coerced into carving
We already saw a big video on this.
signs on their skin. These crimes are committed to gain full and statement of this ideology. State. The group operates through a accelerationist group with intellectualism and nihilism, while promoting a racial Joseph Paul Franklin and the Nepropovorsk maniacs, after Krasnostic violent
These are
extremist.
different. Okay.
No Lives Matter is a nihilistic violent extremist group that branched off from 764. Its name, a twist on Black Lives Matter. The Base is a neo-Nazi white supremacist terrorist group founded in 2018 advocating for the violent collapse of society to establish a white ethno-state. The group operates through a decentralized cell-based structure inspired by James Mason's Siege, promoting leaderless resistance and a coming race war. Its core belief is that societal collapse can be accelerated through violence, including terrorist attacks and lone actor assaults. The base uses a strict vetting process to recruit individuals willing to commit violence and organizes paramilitary hate camps to train them. The network's decentralized model is designed to shield its operations from infiltration, although several members were arrested in 2020 by US law enforcement. The base operates primarily in the US but has active cells in Canada, Australia, South Africa, and Europe. In April 2025, the base allegedly offered financial rewards for sabotage against infrastructure and the assassination of Ukrainian officials. The group is labeled a terrorist organization in several countries. The Green Brigade was a Swedish-based eco-extremist accelerationist group with international links, notably tied to the neo-Nazi group The Base. It emerged on Discord before moving to Telegram, where it ran the now-deleted eco-fascist Central Channel. The group promoted the violent collapse of industrial society, targeting entities it viewed as enemies of nature. Its most notable action was an arson attack on a Swedish mink farm, causing multi-million-dollar damages. 2 members of the group were also arrested for plotting bombings and assassinations of judges. While the Green Brigade reportedly disbanded in early 2020, its ideas continue to circulate in other eco-fascist spaces. The Maniac Murder Cult, or MKY, is a violent accelerationist group that originated in Russia and Ukraine in 2017. Founded by Ukrainian Yegor Krasnov, it mixes neo-fascism, theistic Satanism, and nihilism. While promoting a racial holy war and total societal collapse, it isn't strictly white supremacist, instead focusing on chaos and misanthropy. MKY is known for disturbing propaganda featuring attacks on homeless people and claims responsibility for over 50 unverified murders. Membership requires committing violent acts and is tracked using a points system, which determines rank and status. Failing to meet the score threshold leads to punishment. The group idealizes serial perpetrators like the Unabomber, Zodiac Killer, Joseph Paul Franklin, and the Nepropovorsk maniacs. After Krasnov's arrest in 2020, Georgian national Mikhail Chikvishvili took leadership. He authored the Hater's Handbook, a series of extremist manuals that circulate in online accelerationist circles. MKY propaganda has allegedly inspired violent incidents worldwide, including the 2022 Romania stabbing, the 2024 Eskişehir mosque attack, and the 2025 Antioch high school shooting. Under Chikvishvili, the group escalated toward a foiled bioterror plot in New York involving poison-laced candy during a Santa Claus scheme. Chikvishvili was arrested in Moldova in 2024, extradited to the US, and awaits trial. Terrorgram is a decentralized network of neo-fascist Telegram channels promoting militant accelerationism. It acts as a hub for sharing propaganda, target lists, and step-by-step guides for hate crimes, mass casualty attacks, and attacks on infrastructure. It also serves as a communication platform for groups like Atomwaffendivision and The Base. Rooted in the ideology of the now defunct Iron March Forum, Terrorgram advocates for leaderless terrorist cells to destabilize society. It also pushes saints culture, glorifying mass killers as martyrs. The network has been linked to multiple real-world attacks and was designated a terrorist organization by the US, UK, and Australia. In 2021, over 200 pro-terrorism channels connected to Terrorgram were exposed, many containing bomb-making and weapons manuals. The Order of Nine Angles is a neo-Nazi satanic terrorist network that promotes violent accelerationism through criminal acts and institutional infiltration. Founded in the UK in the 1960s, O9A glorifies Nazi Germany as an embodiment of satanic will and calls for the destruction of Western religious and moral systems. The group advocates for the creation of a new Aryan imperium, a militarized society that would eventually colonize the galaxy, based on social Darwinism, fascism, and ritualized violence. Advancement within the group involves real-world violence, including assault, murder, and ritual human sacrifice. Ethical norms are rejected entirely, with members instructed to transgress through criminal acts to break societal conditioning. The group operates in decentralized cells called nections, with a global presence. Members are encouraged to infiltrate institutions like the military or churches to corrupt them from within. O9A has been connected to numerous crimes globally, including terrorism and murders. It's associated with other extremist groups such as Atomwaffen Division, National Action, and 764. Two major offshoots have extended O9A's reach. The Satanic Front is a violence-focused splinter group that removes much of O9A's complex occultism. It promotes physical dominance, white male identity, and dark god worship, merging ritual with terrorism. It mainly operates in Latin America and the US. And then there's the Temple of Blood, a US-based faction considered one of O9A's most extreme. Known for texts like Iron Gates, it mixes Satanism with genocidal fantasy and apocalyptic themes, further pushing the group's violent, esoteric accelerationism. Atomwaffen Division was a neo-Nazi terrorist group founded in 2015 by Brandon Russell in the US, later expanding to the UK, Canada, Germany, Brazil, and Argentina. It combined white supremacist ideology with accelerationism, pushing for guerrilla wartarian political philosophy founded by American software engineer Curtis Yarn's group that blends militant anarchism, anti-fascism, anti-police, emerging from the plate army.
In cancer patients, FMD has been shown to revitalize our immune system. That means that the FMD reduces a population of immune revitalization and reaggression of the immune system against cancer cells, reducing their growth. All this is pretty impressive research, and there's plenty more on how fasting mimicking diets affect cancer, like the impact on the microbiome and cancer fighting, something called a starvation-mediated escape pathway. I discuss low carbohydrate diets in this context and more. So if you're interested in a deeper analysis of this kind of stuff, consider checking out the Physionic Insiders. It's my premium research platform where I upload the extended link to that. I designed the description. Now, to context and how can we use this all? Well, three critical pieces of context here. One, in the clinical trials, all the studies used FMD in combination with traditional anti-cancer therapies. None, that I'm aware, used FMD alone to combat cancer. The second thing is to point out that cancer is a diverse There's this hormone that is rarely discussed. No, it's not insulin, it's not cortisol, none of the typical hormones that we discuss, but it's produced by many cells of our body, and there's a recent massive study that implicates it in having many longevity-promoting effects in the body. So, I'd like to show you some wickedly impressive science on how it works and how we can take advantage of the science to apply it to increase the hormone in our own body naturally. So no injections, no drugs, not even a supplement. Oh, before we get started, I'm about to get into some heavy molecular and cell biology and physiology. So the hormone is FGF21, also known as fibroblast growth factor 21. And the researchers
How to recognize a steroid dummy. Not taking any pharmaceutical grade gear, not doing any blood work, not measuring their blood pressure, running oral only cycles. Wrong. Guess again, buddy. We're well beyond that here. The dumbest thing I see people do is run Vigor Steve here, so it seems that I have to make this video every single year, just as a refresher for sport. So here's rookie mistake number 1. Not increasing your micronutrient intake to match the increased micronutrient demand now that you're taking performance-enhancing drugs. all of the side effects that you're experiencing right now, it's very likely that it's related to a micronutrient deficiency. I mapped all the commonly associated side effects of anabolic androgenic steroids to the expected side effects of particular micronutrient deficiencies. I have a very lengthy, in-depth, very comprehensive, and all-inclusive article on my website. Yet, nobody read it. The steroids no longer work as expected, and now you want to up the dose preferably to 200%. Wrong, wrong, wrong. You might be deficient in zinc and selenium, which help with androgen-mediated gene transcription. How much of an effect do you expect to get on the androgen receptor if some of the cofactors are not present in sufficient amounts? Just because the dietary reference intakes or daily values have been established by the National Institute of Health doesn't mean that you need to adhere to these intakes because they have been established for general population. You, as an athlete taking performance-enhancing drugs, do you identify as general population? Maybe you need a little bit more zinc or selenium in your micronutrient intake profile. Are you feeling fatigued and lethargic and now you want to up the dose and add in the turinabol or equipoise or methylene blue or injectable ephedrine, whatever you can get your hands on to get your energy levels back? It might be as simple as being deficient in B vitamins and iron, which all contribute to the production of red blood cells, increasing your hematocrit, increasing the oxygen carrying capacity of your red blood cells. Maybe that is the underlying condition of why your performance is subpar. Or you're experiencing hair loss on cycle, now you downed a whole bottle of finasteride and started bathing in ketoconazole and minoxidil shampoo, all of the shampoo bottles you could find in the house. Think again, bro. Maybe you're just deficient in vitamin A, vitamin B7, biotin, vitamin D3, calcium, zinc, and even collagen all contribute to hair growth, right? I can't emphasize this enough. So many guys get themselves into serious issues megadosing the finasteride or dutasteride when it's even not required. They can simply pay a little bit more attention to their nutrition. And for all the guys who got a tomato face while tying their shoelaces or having blood bursting from their eyes, nose, and ears while doing heavy deads or squats, the same guys who want to go on the telmisartan and the bivalol super stout.
21st, when I tell her the man in blue is Richie after I say the D word.
Scanning for Fent. Initiate Fent retrieval protocol.
Per person. That's £200 off. 22 kilograms of baggage included.
Thanks for the donation, dude. How close are you to busting? Donate $2.
It's part of the process. This one, 170 degrees, 40 minutes. You work hard, you recover harder.
Saunas do not help with recovery.
Think of her!
Yeah, I've seen that.
Were retarded, filling up all these tanks with fresh cum.
At first, no one believed in these niggas.
I've never seen something like this before. To power up the first ever semen technology token.
Hundreds and hundreds of niggas jacking off into a tank.
People doubted them, but they didn't give up.
Alright, thanks for the donation, dude.
Back while continuing with the injectable anadrol pre-workout, why don't you take some magnesium? I can't emphasize this enough. There's so many people out there on this planet, whether those are athletes taking performance-enhancing drugs or general population for that matter, who are magnesium deficient. Magnesium helps to relax and dilate the arteries and blood vessels, allowing you to have sufficient blood pressure management. And if the magnesium doesn't fix you, right, you can always look into telmisartan, or you can always look into the bivalol, another ARB or beta blocker to keep your blood pressure under control. But the root cause of so many issues with blood pressure and blood pressure alone, magnesium deficiency, right? And when you go on magnesium, whether that's magnesium citrate, glycinate, bisglycinate, whatever formula you prefer. Multiple servings with meals throughout the day, not too high to the point you get diarrhea. Obviously, then you need to dial back your magnesium intake. When you start supplementing with magnesium, also look into vitamin D3 and vitamin K supplementation to bring all of that magnesium and calcium that you get from your diet to the proper areas of your body. And if you found any of this to be relatable, please read that article. It's linked down below. You can fix so many issues. All of the side effects you think that are stemming from performance-enhancing drugs, you can probably fix by being in a micronutrient sufficient state. And most of the over-the-counter supplements which help to combat micronutrient deficiency are probably cheaper than running a boatload of ancillaries. Rookie mistake number 2, not doing deep tissue massage therapy or any kind of therapy that helps you with adhesions, particularly in the areas where you start injecting. Scar tissue buildup gets more problematic the longer you take injectable performance-enhancing drugs. And in the beginning, you might be able to get away with it, right? You have a couple lumps and bumps in your shoulders and glutes. Maybe you start running out of spots and you need to hit your lats or other parts of the body as well. Over time, this scar tissue will just bound up to the point it gets knotty. And then, guess what? Limited range of motion, knee pain, elbow pain, shoulder pain. All these things will slowly start to creep up with you, and then you want to megadose the TB500 and BPC157, growth hormone, GHK copper, collagen supplements, etc. If you start loading up your rear delts and now it looks like you're an American football player wearing those shoulder pads 24/7, what do you think that's going to do to your bench press or shoulder press or any kind of movement that involves your arms? Right? Not only are you losing definition and it actually looks kind of horrible when you take your shirt off. Really, I would rather do an entire steroid cycle subcutaneously. And if that means you get to use a limited amount of milliliters because the injection depot of the subcutaneous space holds maybe 1 milliliter at maximum, so be it. Now you end up healthier too. Now you get to limit the amount of performance-enhancing drugs that you take, and ultimately your blood work results and your overall health parameters should like 10 times better than before when you started pinning 3 cc's per day. And if you absolutely must go intramuscularly because your steroid intake is so high because you're competing at the highest level, okay, I get it. Sacrifices have to be made. The subcutaneous depot is not sufficient for your steroid cycle. Buy yourself a lacrosse ball and a foam roller. Do stretches under load. Do the reverse hyperextension. Look into cupping, deep tissue massage therapy, Graston technique, active release therapy, acupuncture, tout band therapy, and even owning a massage gun and using that
What the fuck would acupuncture do? You're just poking more holes to create more scar tissue.
regularly on your injection sites is always better than nothing. Anything you can do to get rid of the scar tissue and remove the adhesions at the site of administrations so you can train pain-free and not limit your range of motion and not look like you're filled with lumps and bumps, which is very problematic when you step on stage. Subcutaneous injections in the upper glute area, that's the best way to get around all of these issues that most beginner steroid users are suffering from. And lastly, rookie mistake number 3, and this one really pisses me off, it's playing the dumb card. Really, dude. Nowadays, there's not an excuse anymore not to get educated. You literally, with your mobile phone, you have the world at your fingertips. So instead of scrolling on Instagram or Tinder or Grindr or OnlyFans, why don't you take an hour or 2 out of the day to do some fucking research? For fuck's sake. And most of the commonly asked questions I have already made videos about with timestamps so you can skip ahead, right? Or you can spend your time on PubMed, or you can spend your time on Wikipedia, which has excellent information, albeit that you still have to do additional research and read some studies from PubMed or Google Scholar or anywhere else that these studies are publicized. You can go to the steroid forums, you can go to the membership websites. There is no excuse not to get educated.
Oh.
Mr. Speaker, on Sunday I had a conversation with an individual that I've known for many years who recorded it without my knowledge and had it leaked to a gun lobbyist. In that conversation, Mr. Speaker, the subject of the assault-style firearms buyback compensation program was discussed. In trying to address this issue, Mr. Speaker, the individual's frustration, my comments were misguided. Having said that, Mr. Speaker, it's important to have the program in place. Is what Canadians are looking for, and I do want to note.
This guy admitted that the Canadian firearms buyback program has nothing to do with public safety. It's not going to reduce crime, and it's a complete sham. And now he has to answer for this in Parliament, and he's getting railed. Fuck this guy. Like, oh my god, I just hate these people. Fucking liberals are just fucking cocksuckers.
That the leader of the opposition has voted against every single gun measure.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
By freeing rampant gun criminals and wasting billions of dollars of police and border resources targeting law-abiding, licensed, trained and tested firearms owners, this government has overseen a 130% increase in violent gun crime. But over the weekend, the Minister of Public Safety accidentally told the truth, and he was recorded doing it. He said that the gun grab is not worth the money, that it will go over budget, and it would be better just to lock up the criminals, but that they're going ahead with the bad policy because it's good politics. Does the Prime Minister agree?
The Honourable Minister of Public Safety.
Mr. Speaker.
Yep. He literally said the quiet part out loud, and he didn't realize he was being recorded. He admitted it's complete horseshit. That's the Liberal government. They just do things because they think it looks nice, and they admit it's all fucking horseshit, and they just want to take away your rights for no reason.
It's a good thing there's a recording of it so that Canadians can have a look for themselves. Let me be very clear, Mr. Speaker. Canadians want responsible gun control. They wanted it in 1989 after a man killed 14 women at École Polytechnique. They wanted it after 6 people were murdered at the Quebec City mosque shooting. And they wanted it after the biggest mass shooting in our history, where a man opened fire and killed 22 people.
The guy got his guns illegally. He smuggled them across the border. Fuck you, you idiot.
In Nova Scotia. Mr. Speaker, why are the Conservatives against keeping guns off our streets?
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Mr. Speaker, the minister said that his gun grab won't work, that it will go over budget, and that it would be better to lock up criminals, as Conservatives have been suggesting, but that they're going ahead with the gun grab anyway because the Prime Minister wants to pursue electoral politics. Electoral politics, Mr. Speaker. When a mother is hit with a stray bullet, or a police officer is murdered by a firearm, or a bullet flies into a child's bedroom as part of an extortion case, we don't have time for politics. So why is this minister caught on tape playing politics with guns?
The Honourable Minister of Public Safety.
Mr. Speaker, in order to have a real conversation about crime, we need to have a real conversation about guns. Canadians want...
If there was less guns, wouldn't less animals be shot by hunters? Congratulations, you're banned. There's zero fucking patience for stupid people anymore.
Responsible gun control, Mr. Speaker. They wanted it in 1989 after a man killed 14 women at École Polytechnique. They wanted it after 6 people were murdered at the Quebec City mosque shooting, and they wanted it after the biggest mass shooting in our history, where a man opened fire and killed 22 people in Nova Scotia. Mr. Speaker, why are the Conservatives against keeping guns off our streets, and why has this leader of the opposition voted against every single gun control measure that he has been in Parliament for?
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
That minister did have a real conversation about guns. Unfortunately for him, he was caught on tape. Caught on tape, admitting that the gun grab is a waste of money. Caught on tape, admitting it would go over budget. Caught on tape, admitting it would be better just to lock up the gun criminals who are actually doing the crime. Why is it that Liberals only tell the truth when they don't think anyone is listening?
Yep. I'm glad that got caught on tape. Hopefully that creates some issues for them with the buyback program. It's fucking ridiculous. Fucking hate liberals so much. Dude, like, we're so close to having the Conservatives win the election. We were so close. We would have gotten our guns back. We would have had less gay retarded shit, but yeah. Too goddamn bad. This is why we can't have nice things. I've really got to stop streaming right after I train. I keep doing it. I'm just way too fucking exhausted. It's really stupid. Really, really stupid. It's such a dumb thing to do. Oh, what a bad idea. So fucking dumb. Well, yeah, it's pretty great that I have a job where I can just fall asleep whenever I want. How lucky am I? So, the plan going forward with the steroids is to basically take more. I've got some Boldenone coming in. Boldenone is sold under the brand name Equipoise. They basically give it to horses. The reason I'm gonna hop on that is it's really good for collagen synthesis. So it helps to strengthen joints, tendons, ligaments. And it also supports anabolism. And it acts as an AI. So that will let me drive up the test dose. So, I might start taking that pretty soon. It's a very long ester, so I might hop on that right away. I'm also switching to testosterone and nenthate, which is a shorter ester than cypionate. One of the reasons for that is it's cheaper. Yeah, it is a bit cheaper. It's 250 milligrams per mil rather than 200 per mil, and it's the same price. You can also drive up test higher with an N8, and there's some other possible benefits with conversion into E2. What was I going to mention? Apparently, whatchamacall, looked into it a little bit. The way your body cleaves off the ester might also be a little more consistent. So I'm going to try it, see how it goes. If I get roughly the same results, if not better, then it's kind of a win-win because I get more gear for cheaper. But that's going to be the next phase of the roids. Adding Boldnone and switching esters. Oh, but I gotta piss. And I'm going to end the stream because I'm just way too fucking tired. I know it's a short stream, but... You know, it's just one of those fucking days. I don't have to train tomorrow, though. So we shouldn't have this problem tomorrow because I'm not training. No, I don't think we'll make any OnlyFans content together non-wib. But, yeah, don't have to train tomorrow, so I'll probably be on earlier and I won't be tired as fuck. And hope you all had fun. Big thanks to everybody who donated on Streamlabs. Really appreciate it. And I'll see you all tomorrow.